Golden League. $125,000 on the line. A lot of pride. Let's take a look. Deciding game between the two of them.
Oh, already we'll see a move out onto the deer. The juicy deer, the sheep being moved across as well. And he has got the berries not too far off. And I like that he's done this. This should set up for a nice Imperial Academy if he goes for that, because he'll have the wood line next to him. Would mean that he'd be playing on the forward wood line, which I don't mind against the Abbasids because they don't raid you early. We'll have to see if he does that in the coming minutes. The first thing we're looking at is MarineLorD. Did he get that 2 wood line spawn we were talking about? It looks like he got 1 safe wood line, but the second one is contestable. And that could budget his opening here. I feel like actually, can we just discuss the wood dispersion here?
This is I will.
I mean, in fairness, this is realistic to life, Nili. The Abbasids have a desert. They're a desert civilization, right? A lot of their land didn't have trees. Meanwhile, the Chinese had vast forests. So this is just historically accurate.
Okay, then I will allow it. And yeah, so Viper, he will be pretty happy with the long game there and can set up his game. Could maybe realize this one and then go for a starving strategy. Because eventually MarineLorD, he needs to make something happen. He can't play the 50-minute game. The Viper can.
Exactly. And the Viper is really strong early on. So it kind of feels frustrating. MarineLorD, I feel, has this very thin window of opportunity, around 20 minutes maybe, if he survives the initial onslaught. Because otherwise, you get into an extended game, you get into this resource drain, what I call the battle of attrition, and you just don't have the edge there because of the lack of wood. He has got a lot of straggler trees to the north, which are unlikely to be contested by Viper, but they're straggler trees, right? Like it's
Well, it's so underwhelming. I hate playing this map. Like, okay, now we're going into the late game, and I have to build a lumber camp into some area, and it's just like, villagers, do your work. Try to find some trees.
Is there something wrong with me? I actually quite like Altai. I feel like it's one of the best maps competitively. Like when the seed is fair, because I'll explain why. Don't worry, you don't have to scold me just yet.
Okay.
So for me, like a game with 4 resources is cool, right? Which is what we have. A game with 5 resources even cooler. We actually get that in late game with PopCap. A game with 6 resources, now that is a spicy meatball I want to taste, and that's what you get on Altai, because the 6th resource is space. You have very limited space, and thus every choice you make in conjunction with the limited wood catalyzes, right? It becomes a compounded effect. If you make poor choices early on, it ripples later on. And that's why things like expanding farmlands is very difficult to do. It's why setting up a military transition late game is a very big commitment, and players struggle to make it, because when you look at your initial spawn, one direction is blocked off by a mountainside. The others are usually blocked by a series of mountains in the center as well. And then also the fact that there's limited wood and every building requires wood to build comes back to bite you in that late game situation. So that's why I like it. I think Altai, in terms of the way it extends into the late game, yes, it's kind of frustrating when both players just hide behind keeps and the wood dries up. But I think it owes itself to a lot of interesting decisions around the way you lay out your base in the mid and late game.
Okay, then I think maybe what this map could be is like you have one big tree line for yourselves and then like 3 in the center.
Yes.
I think this could be a really nice way to like have this one as the scarce resource and force aggression towards the center then.
Do you know what? Actually, I kind of like that. Let's make it even better. Let's do some weird Black Forest stuff. There's a wood line that cuts completely across the center. And then you get attention on the outsides as well. And then in the center of that wood, like in a clearing in the center, to keep it balanced, there's a sacred site and a relic. We sorted it, boys. We've rebalanced Altai. Someone get on the pup, make me some custom templates. We need a test of this.
Oh, I'm so excited for custom maps. And I think tournaments will get so much better because right now, I don't want to sound mean, but like Altai, not Altai, Dry Arabia, Lipany, Highview, not the craziest difference there, right?
Yeah.
And if we get like completely different maps that force you in completely different strategies with completely different civilizations, I think tournaments becoming so much better in the future.
And being a man of high caliber, moral standing, and not easily corruptible, I will accept nothing less than 3 cases of Red Bull to leak the generations of the maps to the player.
Okay.
Joke's on them. I'm not going to give them the generation, but I am going to take the Red Bull. All right, anyway, focus on this game, though. Like, in fairness, the rest of the resources are relatively agreeable, right? I wouldn't say there's anything else that's kind of scammed anyone. The relic generation, fair. Gold generation, fair. Deal locations, pretty damn fair. So, overall...
Sheep aren't fair. Seems like Viper has more.
But you have to, that's because he eats berries.
Viper has more sheep.
They're weekday vegetarians in the Abbasid Empire. They only eat sheep on the weekend, sir.
Maybe that's why they only eat 25 food.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Turns out that you need to eat less when you don't eat meat because you're building less muscle, so there's less body to fuel. There you go. We figured it out.
Ooh, controversial statements on stream.
Hey, I just want to go on record live on stream and say I swallow a lot of meat. Like, I'm a big protein consumer. So anyway, let's move in from that. And let's move on to the fact that Viper has done his opening. And he did go for the barbecue. So no Imperial Academy. Viper, why do you hate taxation so much?
It's quite surprising. Let's take a look. Oh, but it's just trying to defend a bit here. And yeah, not too much happening. And yeah, I would have expected Imperial Academy as well.
Do you know what I love is like when you say not much is happening and then you just hear this tiny cling of a saw, you're like, yep, it's just a scout. This is the most underwhelming attack noise ever in an RTS. Like, do you know what this is? In metallic sound categorization, this is like the same as someone going, eh, when they throw a punch.
That's how I play tennis.
Ah, nice. Did you go for the overwhelming grunt that's not necessary?
No, just like the small, like, to let them know that the ball is coming.
Like you're playing badminton. Okay.
No, badminton is you don't have time to make noises.
What?
Badminton is too intense. Yeah. You have to focus on the next one again.
What I'm learning here is you just, like, when you play badminton, you look for the shuttlecock, but when you play tennis, you just blindly wave the racket, making yelling noises. Similar to the scout.
That's how it works, yeah. You kind of want to, like, show the opponent, yeah, I'm giving my best, and that's why you're making noises, to let them know, like, I'm valuing you, I'm valuing your time, I'm valuing the sport.
Do you know what
That's why you... What do you value?
I value some aggression when you see a Chinese player hasn't turned up on your base. Look what MarineLorD's prepping for. He got his second TC, he's getting his military buildings. Meanwhile, Viper, he's going for an older build. He went for the Castle Age rush. He didn't bother to invest in the feudal dominance. And this might be a mistake, because if both players easily access the Castle Age timing, the Abbasids have the ability to out-Zerg your siege.
Okay, so this is a Spearman, Springle defense, and now walls with double town center. He's 6 villages ahead. That's a no, what? Oh, okay. This is... But what are we doing after this? Only picking up relics?
Yeah, so he didn't even bother with the Imperial Academy. Now he's going to spend, like, the equivalent of getting Imperial Academy on monks, which is okay in a way. Like, you've got all the wood, right? So, actually, this is, right now, this is Viper just saying, come to me. He's like, I've got all the wood. I'm going to go get all the relics. MarineLorD, if you want your share of the bounty, you will have to come to my side of the map.
Ooh, that's pretty sloppy. Camera Archer, 60 HP, and Horseman should easily clear this one up. Viper now goes for the walls at the top. Without fighting the back with the wolf there. And should get quite some relic control.
Yeah, he's really obsessed with the relics. I've noticed is like he's one of the players that was very quick into the relic gathering strategy, right? I think that's actually why he goes to the castle over hanging around in the feudal that a lot of Chinese players do. He understands that you won't get much value out of that strong clock tower anymore, but what you do get is instant access to go and pick up these relics, and also if you bother to supervise the temple, you can produce the monks twice as quickly as your opponent.
Okay, well, that's certainly something. Lancer now around. MarineLorD at least scouts that monk. Goes for some spearmen here. Tries to defend himself. Village advantage. It's getting scary. Plus 10 already. And Viper obviously not going for songs, so that will increase every minute. 3 more villagers. What? Where's that monk going? What? Where?
Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Hey, oh. Viper, wrong direction.
I think he's paranoid because he
No, I
was
think he
seen-
shift clicked but misclicked.
Wait, what?
He probably clicked it on the
No.
monastery and then, oh no.
But he's pulled the villager back as well. I think
he
he's
should
just
have
taking
seen
the
it.
safe route. I think he's paranoid because he got spotted moving out. Camel Archer.
No way.
So far,
No, he's hiding.
like, yeah. Maybe he's just
chilling.
gonna. What if you just
Oh,
hit
look
the
at that.
relics on the mountain and then came back for them later, knowing your opponent would.
And now he's just like showing the relic. Look at what I got. Heyo, heyo.
Look at my shiny
And now-
trinket.
what?
You want it?
No,
You want
you
it? You
did
want it?
not
We want it?
correct
No! Well, there's no wall lock coming out.
Okay.
That's
Try
that's
to explain this
150
to me,
gold.
KP, now.
I was temporarily controlling the Viper.
Okay.
That's my explanation.
Could we give the mouse and keyboard back to the Viper, please?
Okay, if you insist. I really had a good strategy here. I was definitely going to get the wall off on that scout if Viper didn't get control every time.
Only 20 seconds late.
No.
And could you try to explain to me, like, what's the winning condition for the Viper? He's so heavily behind. Only has one relic. He walled some areas, but he's just dying at the front here, no?
What if he was typing the admins right now and he said that this generation was unfair to MarineLorD and he wanted to restart the game?
Okay.
I think that's his win condition.
Just a warm-up game.
Or he's making up. I figured it out. Viper is making up for game 1 and 2. He's built more walls in this game than he's built in the last 2. And it's gonna stop expansion. But what about the center? The center that MarineLorD is running through right now.
Does you think like one Barbican can defend the whole army?
Hey, it's called a
12
Barbican
minutes in.
of the Sun, okay? The Sun's pretty big, so I think it should be able to. Nest of Bees, that could be big though. Heavy damage in. Spear's not paying attention. And he's still not paying
That's the way to
attention.
defend.
Second round.
Okay, that's really nice.
Oh,
Second volley. Let's
Nest
take
of
a
Bees is
look.
drunk. Wait, not the camel, not the camel. The Spears. They're going to get the value. They'll burn down the outpost. And when they come out, these villagers are in trouble. Look, he's stacking on top of it. Nice shift out just before it crumbles, though. So Viper able to shift away just in time.
Okay, only loses one villager. That's certainly okay for him. Got quite some kills there, but that palisade wall is going to fall. Viper's already re-walling behind it. That right-hand side out of his control. It just feels so weird. He's 23 villagers behind. One relic only for him. Another one on the way. 3 towards the left-hand side, so he should get more. But even 5 relics are not like a winning condition here.
Is the alpha move just for MarineLorD to collect relics after all this time and still end up with more of them? Because like this has been a long window to just get 2 relics. And 2 of them are hard to reach. He has at least got the walls and... Oh, okay, so we're protecting wildlife now. We've given them their own little safari park. No one wants that boar. This is like having no man's land, right? Like the thing that will keep people neutral is the boar in the center. But it really has been a layering of walls everywhere, right? Viper seemingly trying to carve up the map for a later timing, but if this was your strategy, I do have to ask the question, why no stone? Because you could have done it, right? Because he rushed castle, so he had the ability to build these. Like, the rules dictate you have to be in castle age to build stone walls. And he's been in castle age for a long time.
Now goes for some palace guards. Maybe he felt like it was too big of an investment. Could still go. So Viper, it's likely that he will get at least 3 relics, right? The one at the left-hand side still up for grabs. He has 3 monks out on the field. So I think he should be making something happen. But, oh, look at that. Camel Archer beautifully positioned.
Wait, but what if I
Maybe
took
it's
the
a
Camel
bolo?
Archer and made it mine? And he
Are
actually
you controlling or is he controlling?
No, that's just MarineLorD teasing us right there. But don't worry, we've got the Monk circle jerk going, so... Oh, wait, he's too fast. He's... No, Viper.
Heal.
He's not good enough. The Camel Archer hits too hard. Oh, to me, to you. He's going to pick it up and run it as far back as he can, but this is costing you dearly.
Oh, Camel Archer!
Don't worry, he can catch up. He's speedier than this poor little lad with 2 legs. And that is a heavy investment. That's another 300 gold. This Camel Archer is MVP right now. Call him Sergeant Camel. Nope, won't stop it. Bye.
And MarineLorD was spotting it so much. You saw like one shot that instantly ran away. Crazy move. Oh, what? Sneaky barracks? What are we witnessing? Is this like
proxy.
This seems like a
racks.
ladder game to me with like challenges. Like wall in opponent, try to sneak afterwards. Try to get all relics and lose all monks.
I mean, he wouldn't expect it, right? Unless he goes and gathers from the gold. I think he's going to see him. It's tight. He might just hide this by 1 pixel. No way.
How good is Viper at hide and seek?
Oh, he's hiding behind the tree. He's hidden a whole racks behind that tree. Incredible.
Okay. But what is it going to achieve? Like 2 palace guards, find like 3-4 villager kills? MarineLorD is 30 villages ahead.
Okay, so Viper managed to sneak this villager all the way back here. Now just needs to sneak an Imperial official back here. Then we're online. I mean, they see the palace guard though. They see the gist is up before it's begun. Oh no. This game, I mean, the Viper is employing some interesting strategies. He's really deep into the Sun Tzu read at this point.
Okay, has a strong siege force though. You can't break that one easily. Can Viper with the... What is that Springald?
A scouting Springald. If you check the vision, it can see things.
That's like my homework. Like, I did something. Okay. Yeah, and then the cat.
Yeah, that is your homework, huh? I didn't do it.
I tried, but nah, I couldn't finish. He didn't kill a single villager. Look at that. All the villagers got away.
This game is spoiling my mind. Nili, we still have a best of 5 after this. MarineLorD is over here like, I have a strategy, I'm going to play my strategy, and the Viper is like, what is the strategy?
Oh, Viper, that's an unbreakable army.
I mean, it's strong.
3 Springalds?
And because MarineLorD took so long to get his own siege out, like, most of these are clock tower, no? I think they're all clock tower units. They have 50%, yeah, 50% more health. So his army, not exactly 50% more efficient, but it's a lot more impactful than what MarineLorD has if he gets even numbers. Ah, yes, MarineLorD vitally trying to prevent the walls while Viper tries to keep them up.
Center, I believe. At least Viper is making line formation there. Pushes in now. 2 Springalds. Viper tries to get the snipes. Oh, Nest of Peace behind this one. Not really getting the shots off. Okay, now they're joining the party.
Heavy hit, decent, but the spears are going to move in now, and the repair crew is out, but Viper doesn't have much of a front line here. It's going to fall quickly. Nest of Peace. Yeah, he bit off more than he could chew.
Count down to 1.
He's going to keep running away. The repair crew is chasing after this just as quickly as the man at arms, so it's evening up the difference. And the Barbican of the Sun. All hail the Sun God, for it shall protect the Viper once more. And the Nest of Bees, they're going to get the bang for buck. As it turns out, he bails on the bees and goes straight for the Springald instead.
Viper heavily overcommitting. The stealth forest apparently hurting him quite a bit. All those crossbows now being really ambitious as well. Oh, get some good shots in.
A little bit more of a tickling, and they're going to go down here. Everything is on 1 HP. That spread not working to the advantage of Viper, but the repair crew is here to make sure the Nest of Bees get another shot at doing their homework. As they'll fire off again, and more crossbows are going to fall. And that should force MarineLorD away, so Viper gets the breathing room, and also he's setting up outposts here, so he's starting to crawl out, and now he can replace the lost siege.
Only 50 population behind, make it 55 population behind here for the Viper. I think he needed to defend more patiently there. He had the perfect army that he cannot be broken, and he moved out without finishing the outpost.
Oh no, he's lost the proxy rack nearly. What will he do? He can no longer draw 20 enemy troops back there. Oh, it's not over though. Look, Viper, he got his palisade walls up. He really... I would love to see what would have happened in a best of 5 situation, because like in game 3 he started building palisades. So logically, if we see him in a BO5, we would get stone walls eventually, right?
I think we needed them quite some time ago, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe a game or 2 ago, but Viper, he's staying alive. He's getting his resources. He does need to kind of extend himself. I wouldn't be against a second TC here. Although, the timing might be off considering what MarineLorD's about to do.
It's questionable. Now goes on to stone at least. And the Viper, so maybe thinks about it. Resources reasonably low. Okay, now finally goes for stone wall.
He's done it!
Yeah, but can't you get in? No, okay, that's stone wall as well.
No, he's trapping him outside. He's like no way in. He needs to wall the southern side as well, but honestly, it's kind of like watching Viper. Like, he started off as a Bulbasaur, and he's really making his way up, right? He's evolving. He's getting stronger and stronger. Before you know it, it's going to be some Venusaur action. And I'm looking forward to it, because he's into the Trebs now. And it really is telling what meta we're in when his entire army is just siege right now.
It just feels like MarineLorD already started on Mewtwo level. And you need to kind of make something wild happen. Need to have some very efficient attacks, but so far it seems like Mewtwo is getting reasonable trades.
So what you're saying is Viper needs to find someone not paying attention and trade a Rattata for a Mew.
Springle's out of position. Oh, this is bad for the Viper.
They're on the way. The Nesta Bees is baiting him in though! Big damage done! And 1 or 2 pass guard might hold him back. He wills it away. Nesta Bees reloaded. A second value shot coming out soon. And he can focus on the short range. Heavy damage into the man-at-arms. He needs units to repair though. He needs to keep the Nesta Bees up. Splash damage out. Crossbows sticking on top of this, trying to butcher the villagers quickly. But the damage is coming out and forcing them away. Man-at-arms burn down another one. Nesta Bees are quickly falling. Sprinkles are slowly cleaning these units up. And the siege will once again hold for Viper.
Ooh, Viper with another hold. After this one, looking at population, 90 behind.
It's like the best part is when you said look at population 90 behind. I think Lidicor chose the most population dense place in MarineLorD's base just to kind of show you how different the focus is for these two sides.
Springles again getting pushed back here. Viper's economy is simply underwhelming. Goes for full Stonewalls. It's still 4 relics to none. And obviously way more wood control for Viper.
So Viper?
The winning condition is hold for another 20 minutes.
This is what
if this game goes past 45 minutes, Viper wins. You got it here first.
Well, I mean, it's possible because I noticed he's holding a lot of stone. This is what he's trying to do. He was trying to bait, buy enough time, and not allow Trebs to build up. And now this keep is going to be rushed up. But remember, Viper is still only 1 TC. Every villager lost stings here. The Nesta Bee is going to be focused out. Spears move in, but that means the keep might be constructed. He's going to envelop him, though. Surrounds him on both sides and butchers the villagers. This keep will not go up. This isn't as much a Viper keep as it is someone else's, and that might be it. GG will get called. A doubt keep to round it out if I've ever seen one. Viper will be eliminated in the lower bracket, and MarineLorD will keep his redemption arc alive.
Whew. Viper finishing 4th place, and certainly something where I will go and ask him what his plan was. Certainly something I believe either went wrong or MarineLorD had some great answers there. Only 1 Lancer to force some reaction from MarineLorD. Spearman then got quite some reaction out of Viper. Early Castle Age as well. Viper late with Song, and MarineLorD simply added town centers and outboomed heavily. He was just not caring about those walls, not caring about the relic deficit, just found so much damage through the center.
Yes, so we all know the famous works of Sun Tzu, right? Like, know your enemy, those type of things. But Viper, I think he found the lost scriptures of Sun Tzu. The one that he seems to have been imploring in this game is, if I don't know what I'm doing, my opponent doesn't know what I'm doing. Which is... it's a solid strategy. I mean, like, it makes you unreadable, and in fairness, MarineLorD wasn't quite sure what to think, but it did feel like Viper lacked the direction we're used to seeing out of him, right? Like, when he goes for these booms, there's a reason behind it, and it felt like if his answer was just a mass siege, is it going to be good enough without the TC boom to support it? Like, we highlighted this fact that he went late into the Imperial Academy. He also didn't go for a second town center. I think if he actually gets more greedy in this game and he relies on these walls that he's sticking up everywhere, he can actually build a big enough siege force to kind of insta-wipe those spearmen and man-at-arms.